Emulate the taste of like non-chicken nuggets. So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
Oh, that's much better.
Edit all the blather out of your videos because my time is very precious.
Oh, that's fire.
Make it less teal and more
Cerulean? Sure.
Replace your background with something more fun? The cold void of outer space.
Let's boost that sound quality. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
It needs more style. It needs more clips, more gifs, more. Well, I might have made it too gnarly.
Hello, welcome everybody. So excited to have you all here. This is going to be our second Ultra Speaking webinar that we are doing around communicating. I see a lot of folks coming in from all over. A shout out to folks coming in from Canada, from Maryland. Would love to hear where everybody else is coming in from and what they are excited to learn about today, what they are excited to learn today. We are going to just get started in just a minute. I'm seeing some chatter going on in our chat. Love the idea of using a mantra when it comes to communicating and being on camera. So yeah, if you guys have any other mantras, please share. We'd love to kind of put them as Post-its too. So awesome. Let's just dive right in. Okay, so quick couple of things as we get started. We are going to be recording this webinar. So if you do miss this or have to hop off early, it will be on YouTube. So you can always come back and take a peek. And we'll also be sending the recording link to you as well if you registered. If you have any questions or comments, please just throw them in the chat. We have Gabe from our awesome support team helping us out on the Descript side, and we have Anne from Ultra Speaking ready to answer questions. And we'll have time at the end of this event to jump into any questions you guys have as well. And if you have any further questions around Descript, you can always go to help.descript.com and get a hold of us. Cool. So what is Ultra Speaking? So for those of you that aren't familiar with Ultra Speaking, it is a communication program that actually teaches you or changes your relationship with speaking. I did one of their foundational courses and I had such a blast with them. And it is very different from like reading a book or watching a video. You actually get to go in and do exercises and build that muscle and it really does change your relationship with communication, making it more fun and just lively. So yeah. So today we're going to go over a few exercises with Ultra Speaking. Some of the exercises include staying in the zone, knowing exactly how much to share, building energy and thinking on your feet, and then we'll go into a Q&A session at the end. So this webinar is for anyone who wants to communicate more clearly on screen or across the table in meetings, whether you are a creator or a person in a team speaking with leadership or across teams too. This is for you. And you'll learn how to build dynamic energy while thinking on your feet when you're communicating and staying in the zone without blanking or restarting and knowing exactly how much to share without getting lost in your thought. Cool. So I'm going to bring up our speakers today. We have Aman and our CEO, Laura. Thank you so much for joining. How are you guys doing? I think your mic is off.
So excited to be here.
Amazing.
Excited. I'm like a little terrified. I'm having fun.
You're going to do great. Aman is the lead coach at Ultra Speaking, and Laura, of course, is our CEO, and she will be joining or sharing the exercises in the program and how we can actually use this in Descript as well, too. So I'm going to hand it over to you, and we can take it off.
Thanks, Fiona. All right. So hi, Laura. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Aman.
Now I'm curious, were you forced to sign up for this or you voluntarily chose to do this?
I just do whatever's on my calendar. Every day I wake up and I let the calendar tell me what's going to happen today. And today I'm going to play a lot of improv games for a live studio audience. So that's just the life of a CEO, I guess.
And you've been seeing the chat where a few people have been sharing their thoughts and their opinions on what their relationship is with their speaking. What is your relationship with speaking? What are you looking to get out of our webinar today?
I think, mostly I'm trying to not humiliate myself on camera. I'm hoping to have a little bit of fun. And I'm always like looking for new tips and tricks. I think that like I've always felt pretty comfortable public speaking, but moving into the CEO role, the amount of public speaking that I do and the amount of like difficult, high stakes public speaking that I do has just dramatically increased. And so being able to do some low stakes, but still pretty visible public speaking is actually kind of fun.
Well, perfect introduction to us at Ultra Speaking. So I'll share my screen real quick because at Ultra Speaking, we create a safe environment to do very unsafe things, which is public speaking. And that's what I love about our organization, of how we put everyone in the pressure. So I'm just going to share my screen. Let's see if it comes up over here. I think someone needs to just accept it. All right, there we go. All right. So by the way, my name is Aman, everybody, for those of you that have not met me before. And I'm going to give you a lot of amantras today that you all have been talking about in the chat. Today's webinar that Laura has so kindly also signed up for to be our volunteer is going to be how to stand out on camera and in every meeting. It seems like people have to show up on camera all the time, give updates, record messages, and even when they speak at meetings. And at Ultra Speaking, we work with all kinds of people to fix their speaking specifically in these environments when it comes to going on the camera and also having a conversation at a meeting. What happens when you get paralyzed? What happens when you're all over the place? So let's just keep moving on that. So let's go through some stuff. Oftentimes, the people we work with that come on camera, they say when the camera turns on, their natural self completely disappears. So I'm completely normal, and then you put a camera in front of me, and I paralyze, and I'm completely different. Someone in the chat said the funniest thing I've read, and I've never seen that. I'm so comfortable taking selfies, but when the camera comes on to record a video, I completely change. I feel like a lot of people probably resonate with that. Another one is when we're in a high stakes meeting, we also turn into a different person. The most confident people I know, when they're confident with their friends, they're confident just hanging out, they turn into a completely different human being when it comes to a meeting. Suddenly there's stakes on the line. What happens in the meeting? I get paralyzed. I don't know what to do. So we're going to be addressing these two things throughout the workshop with Laura, who is going to absolutely smash it. So let me just describe what unnatural looks like. And everyone in the chat, feel free to even throw your ideas when it comes to unnatural. What does it mean to you? From what we have seen, someone who's unnatural is always overthinking. They're trying to find the perfect answer. Overthinking, overthinking, overthinking. Another one is that they give too much information. You know, the person that almost word vomits is giving you every single detail. And as a listener, it's like, wait, what do I need to know here? You're giving me too much. And us as speakers, we realize, wait, I don't even know where I started. I'm rambling. The last one is monotony. The people that speak in one tone. No dynamism in their speaking. Completely normal because we're in our head and we're comfortable with one kind of voice. And we're going to walk you through that through the workshop. But I have to ask you, Laura, what does unnatural look like or feel like to you?
Definitely not monotone. I think if anything, people are like, hey, maybe cool down the the constant vocal variation and differentiation. But certainly the overthinking is there, and doing a lot of qualifying, interrupting myself with another qualifying thought is definitely, how it shows up for me. Over complicating things.
And in the chat, everybody, just let Laura know that she's not the only one. This is so common that, I'm always qualifying myself. I'm stopping myself mid-sentence. I don't trust what I just said. Can I trust what I just said? Wait, let me just double check that. Let me just verify it before I keep going. And we have solutions around that. because we're going to give you some tools to help get over that today. Because good news, it's not a skill issue. None of you have this problem because you all have been speaking. I think speaking is the skill that you've been developing for the longest time. We've all been speaking from the very early days of our childhood. It's not a skill issue. It's about changing our thinking and repurposing how we look at this in a way. It's about accessing your skills when the stakes get high. You always have this skill. It's almost like people say, I'm comfortable in this environment. You put me on front of a camera, or you put me at a meeting, everything stops working. It's like you're asking me to drive a car in the water. It doesn't work. I know how to drive a car, but it's not working in the water. And I feel like I'm swimming and drowning in this area. Because we have 3 techniques today that we're going to walk Laura through to access your natural self. First, we're going to combat overthinking, which is about flow and ease. How do I feel comfortable when I show up? I don't feel like that pressure. I don't feel like there's this weight on my shoulders, this heaviness in my head when I'm speaking. Second is oversharing. There are people that are like, some people are like, can you please speak? And some people are like, can you please not speak? You're speaking too much. And finding the balance of the two in real time. And lastly, the monotony, which is Laura's secret sauce, but we're going to even target that a bit towards the end of the workshop. So technique 1, Laura, we're going to access flow and ease for you, which is the thing you were most focused on for today.
Yes.
We're going to get you out of this overthinking mode.
Okay.
And beyond the qualifying, what else is overthinking to you? Like, how does it feel? What comes up for you?
So for me, I don't get stumped and silent, but instead it's like 4 competing ideas for how to answer this question come up at the same time. And I am now going to try to jam all 4 of those ideas into the amount of time that it usually takes to express one idea, and probably non-linearly. So it's somewhat confusing.
Yeah, it's kind of like the entryway to a door can fit 1 person, but you're trying to fit all 4 at the same time, and they get stuck, and then the paralysis happens. There's too much friction that takes place. Is that what you feel like?
Yes, that's probably right. A lot of self-chatter makes its
Ooh.
way into, yeah.
Well, we have the perfect game for you for today. And by the way, folks, at Ultra Speaking, the best way we have found to get good at speaking and you abolishing your nervousness and your overthinking is to speak and to put it into practice in a pressure environment, which is what Laura is doing today. So we're going to do a little warm up, Laura, because the game works a little something like this. You're going to get a game today called Autocomplete with rapid fire with breath. And this is something you've played before, but I'm just going to give a quick demonstration to our viewers for today.
Okay.
The way it works is a little something like this. You're going to get a round, and in front of you, you're going to just answer. The banana is the worst thing because, and you have to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Now, oftentimes when people play this game, they tend to get paralyzed. They go, being born is unfair because, and then they think, and there's not enough time. And that's kind of what the real world is like. You're thinking about what to say, but the time is only so limited and the pressure just stacks on. So we get paralyzed, we blank, we want to disappear and run away from the situation. But for you today, the only goal is to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Being hungry is crazy because I'm thinking about it right now. Wine ballers are scary because I don't know what I'm going to say. So you kind of trust that instinct and say the first thing that's on your mind. One thing to add, this is a safe space. We're practicing our speaking together. So if you say something that's silly and you don't agree with, just keep going. How much you hop back on is what's most important for now.
No one is allowed to cancel me for what might get said in this. No.
At least in the Ultra Speaking environment, because we do unsafe things, but we create the safest environment for everyone out here. You ready to give this warm up a go, Laura?
Let's do it.
Yes. And I know our chat is a little bit delayed, but show some love to Laura in the chat. Laura will see it after the round is done, but send a lot of love. It takes a lot of courage to go in front of all of you live. So we wanted to give that same support and love back to Laura. All right, Laura, you ready? Let's do it.
Let's do it. A banana is the worst thing because it's squishy, it smells bad, and it's brown. A road trip is unpleasant because you have to pee at gas station bathrooms. Being born is unfair because so much is determined at birth. A glazed donut is sensational because there's lots of sprinkles on it. Rap music is disturbing because of all of the adult language. A charger is exciting because afterwards you can play games on your phone. Meditation is depressing because I don't want to think about my life choices. Being hungry is crazy because what am I, an animal? Wine bottles are scary because they can be used as weapons. A bodybuilder is my favorite thing because the self-tanning is very interesting.
Oh, wow. Nice job, Laura. We don't have a live audience with us right now, but I'm sure they're clapping and cheering for you in the background. How did that feel for you?
Pretty fun, actually. Yeah, that was pretty fun because the quality of the answer was not being graded, right? It was just, could there be an answer? So that feels like a bar I can meet generally.
And you know what? That's step number one, that we're over indexing on how much quality is expected of us in the answer in real time. But in doing that, you're deteriorating the quality of the answer in real time because you're putting so much pressure on something that was already pre-baked and ready to serve for you. And that's the concern. It's like almost like, I need to bake this, I need to check it, I need to make sure every dish is correct, but the dish is actually ready. You just need to serve it to your listeners. So that's why we say just speak. What we really mean is that when the overthinker kicks in, then just speak. It's speak before you overthink. Say the thing that's already available to you and ready to go in real time, because you're a professional at what you do. And in order to believe that, we need to start experimenting with how we speak in real time. I'm seeing in the chat as well. Well done. Impressive, Laura. You nailed it. Fantastic. Totally agree. So we're going to get into some speeches because it's speech time. So this was just a warm up for you. The way we're actually going to do this is I'm going to show you a
Let's
quick
make it harder.
We're just getting started. So the way it works is that you're going to get a rep similar to the last one. And this is my demo that I'm going to give you, which is public speaking is scary because we have so much to think about in real time. So then what happens is that you're going to have a breathe in and breathe out section that will come. You take that breath, and then you're going to give a quick 30-second speech, similarly as you would do on camera. When the camera comes on, you just start speaking, but we're thinking about what to say and all that stuff comes. But what I'm saying is let the free thought flow. Based on the random thing you got, you're just going to start speaking and come up with a 30-second speech. Now, what's interesting is you have had no preparation. I didn't even tell you what topic you're getting, but you're just going to go for it blind and see what happens when you speak before you overthink and get out of your head.
Let's do it.
Amazing. I love how the chat's coming in right now from what you did 2 minutes ago. Wow, that was amazing. It really was. And you're about to do something more amazing. You ready, Laura?
As I'll ever be, Aman.
Let's do it.
I believe in Descript because it helps everyone go on camera. I believe that everyone has a story to tell. We all have experiences that are valuable and things that it makes sense to share with other people. And I think that at the core of what it means to be human is like our shared experiences and telling our story. But there are so many things that get in the way of telling our story. And one of them is, frankly, our software. I want to help create software that makes it really easy for everyone to tell their story.
Nice. All right. Nice job, Laura. Speak before you
gave me a softball. I can talk about why I believe in Descript and why I think it's important to tell stories. So that was better. In some ways it's harder, but in some ways easier.
What was harder and what was easier?
Well, what's harder is I care a lot about how Descript shows up in this webinar, right? This isn't just about not liking gas station bathrooms, which I'd say is like a pretty easy platform, and it doesn't really matter if I nail it. But I really hope that people do understand what Descript is about. So it's a higher stakes kind of thing for me to talk about. But at the same time, it's something that you're right, I do have a lot of content on. I could probably do 30 minutes of why I believe in Descript.
But usually what's most important is that it feels like a softball, but you had no idea it was coming your way.
No, that's true. I thought you were going to give me something much more random.
And that's what's interesting is that we're treating the things we already know in the workplace and on camera like it's completely random. So by that I mean that we already know this stuff. We just haven't probably organized it, scripted it before, so it feels like we're not ready. But you have been ready because you do this every single day. Just speak before you overthink. If we don't have time, you have the answers available. Start getting out of that in your head. So because you said I gave you a softball, I have another one for you. And we have to go again.
Why? Okay.
So we're going to give you a new one, and completely random. Again, you don't know what's coming your way. And remember, you have one rule: speak before you overthink. Just trust the first thing and give your answer. And that's what will help us get out of our head. Because when most people go on camera and they're recording a video or sending a message or in a meeting, they're thinking about every single thing to say rather than just speaking, and the words will flow. All right, you ready for round 2? Let's do it.
Running a business is terrifying because you can fail every day.
Take a breath.
If you are afraid of failure, I highly don't recommend running a business, because weirdly, part of what it takes to be successful in running a business is incredible bravery and a lot of resilience to fight through failure day after day and week after week. And so it's almost like, to be an expert at running a business, you need to be an expert at failure. And becoming an expert at failure is terrifying.
Yes, nice job. In the chat, everyone. We're going to see it in a minute. Send some love. Oh my God. Laura, how was that?
Yeah. I mean, that felt pretty good, actually. That's what's interesting is I think that was probably more dynamic. I get asked questions like this on podcasts now fairly regularly, and that's probably a more dynamic answer than I tend to give on what it's like to be the CEO of a company.
What made it more dynamic? What do you think worked for you?
Well, the question was provocative, right? Like asking why something is terrifying, I think, like, provokes a better answer than why something might be challenging, which provokes more of an intellectual answer. But I think also just like feeling like what I was going to get graded on in this moment was sounding natural and confident meant like, okay, I'm going to pick a simpler, I'm going to pick one idea, I'm going to spend some time with it, and I'm going to try to keep it simple, which is like usually on a podcast, I feel a tendency to like want to sound very intelligent and have like the best possible insights on the challenges of management, etc.
It's there's this thing I've been hearing oftentimes, that being clever is actually silly and being clear is smart. And when we're trying to be clever or intelligent, we have actually lost people in trying to help them understand something in a complex way, when people feel better when you simply explain it and you have that natural element. And that's what you did. The paralysis completely disappeared as you just started speaking. It's almost like, for the overthinkers, they're putting their mind through a multi-factor authentication. It's so annoying to go through.
So true. Yes. I love that analogy. Yes.
So you have the security, you allow your brain and your mind to decide how much security it has to go through before it speaks. How much TSA pre-check, does it have TSA pre-check, or is it going to go through the line? It's kind of your decision, because ultimately it's fine and you trust it and you're going to allow it to go through much quicker, is the formula. Great work, Laura.
Thank you.
This is the only rule to really follow in order to get out of our head, is to just speak before you overthink. For those of us that blank, for those of us that get paralyzed, for those of us that feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. You're almost going through the entire Rolodex of things you can say and getting paralyzed. Just start speaking, because the mind will choose the right thing in real time when you start speaking. It's available to you. It's pre-designed. You've been speaking forever, and just trust that. Laura did it. Laura had no idea what was coming her way and completely smashed it out of the park. By the way, Laura, you have something to show us of how Descript can take care of the imperfections, because people always think like, what about my filler words when I speak on camera? What about the things that naturally come out? What would you show them?
Right. So I think that, like, when I see people first try to become creators, what I see them do is either get super in their heads and it takes them forever to come up with what they're going to say, or like write a script and kind of like read that script through. Both of those can feel okay, but I want to suggest another way, which is like interview yourself basically as if you are a guest on a podcast. You have really important stories to tell. You have really important content in your head, and you can just kind of like let that out, blurt that out into Descript. And if you're like me, some of that are, there are some nuggets of gold. And then there are some nuggets of like mud and dirt, and you might be really filler wordy at times with a lot of likes and there might be some awkward pauses. You're not going to, your batting average is going to be 1,000. And so what you can do is you can just use Descript to do something like remove all of your filler words. Matthew used 28 here. We're going to find all of them and we're going to remove them. And now they're gone. They're gone in the script over here, and they're gone in the video over here. Let me explain a little bit. Like the way that this works with Descript is you can record here. I'm dragging in this recording, and you'll see that over here on the left is the transcript. Over here on the right is the video. You have a timeline, just like a normal timeline editor, but I actually like to make the timeline go away, and I just look at the words and create the video that I want to create. And over here in AI tools, so I can either just do that, by pressing delete, by moving this paragraph up to the top, if that's what I want to do, and it will go ahead and move that video up to the top. So it's very easy to do a rough edit, get all the content in the right way. I can edit for clarity and have, basically an LLM run through and say like, I think you can tighten this up a bunch, go ahead and accept all of those edits. I can also do things like add some studio sound if, like me, you don't own a $900 microphone, but you'd like to sound like you do.
I checked out a bunch of the videos from our guy, Ramdi.
This is what it sounds like without studio sound.
I checked out a bunch of the videos from our guy, Ramdi.
And then with studio sound, it just sounds so much clearer and crisper, like you're in one of those egg crate rooms. You can do things like fix eye contact, so it looks like you're making meaningful eye contact the entire time. And then you can do things like repurpose it, which is really important as you get into the creator world where you have long form content that you need to turn into short form content. Down here with creating clips that automatically add captions, you can say how long you want the clips to be and what you want them to be about. And then if you want to add some B-roll, you can do that through layouts, or you can just use quick design to do that with stock media or generated media. But I can come in here and just kind of say, okay, I want to put like an intro layout here. And you can have like a branded, whatever your brand is, you can pick those colors. But here I can say like, let's just add this layout. And
I've been at a bunch of different.
It's very easy to create something that looks super polished, even though it started with something that was fairly rambling. And if you're interested in learning Descript, we're definitely going to make you an offer later in this webinar. And we'll also have webinars specifically about how to use it. But I find that the combination of confidence on camera and a tool that helps take the friction out of the software part so that you can really focus on your story is really a killer combination that helps people show up really well.
That is awesome. That is unbelievable. It's like editing a Word doc and my video is getting fixed. I've not seen anything like that. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to make spoken word content.
And it's very similar. It's almost like people are looking for the perfection in their speaking and saying, oh, because I'll have to deal with the edit later on. I work with content creators all the time. They tell me like, oh no, but then I have to edit this filler word and I don't have a way to do it, but I freely express myself, but then I have to think about the editing. And this is almost like quick editing that's done for you.
Yep, absolutely. That's exactly what it's like. And it really just helps you focus on the thing that gets you into create. I think like very few people become creators because they're just really excited to spend time in a timeline. Some people are, but most of us become creators because we want to tell a story. And so this tool is for people who want to cut to the part that inspired them to kind of get on the creator train in the first place.
Absolutely stunning technology. Love it. Thanks for sharing that, Laura. And I want to, as we continue, everyone, for the next part, we're going to have Laura do some more speeches, and we want the chat to give us some speech titles that are specific to Laura that you would like Laura to talk about. So everyone in the chat, in the meantime, just put something since we see it 1 minute later. And then when it comes to doing the round, our next round, we'll pick something from that batch. So feel free to put a speech title in the chat for us, please. All right. So there are things that AI can do for your speaking, such as what Laura showed us. But there are certain things that AI cannot do, which is there's only one thing that can be done. It's you. You have to do it. You have to show up on camera. You have to do the speaking. And you have to get to the point with all the amazing things you have learned. So we have the second part of it, which is stop rambling and getting in the weeds. What is your relationship with the rambling and getting in the weeds, Laura?
I love the weeds, Aman. Like, the weeds are my friends.
Tell us more. What is a day-to-day like with this?
I mean, I think that part of it is because to do my job well, I need to be able to operate at all altitudes. And so while I'd like to say that I can live up here in the realm of ideas and strategy, the truth is that often I need to really have deep command over what's going on in the product, what's going on in the numbers, and come in and have good bar raising questions to ask any person on the team about any project that's happening. Now, that knowledge can help me be really effective in some environments and can really make me much less effective when I am trying to show up in an audience that operates on this altitude or for a cause that operates on this altitude. And I'm stuck down here talking about, well, there was an experiment 4 months ago, and while the results aren't completely, comprehensive, there was early evidence to suggest that perhaps adding a button here would be slightly less effective. And then someone who's operating on this altitude is just like, I don't care about any of it.
Well, you kind of set it up really well for us because we're going to walk you through that exercise of when this is appropriate, when this is not appropriate, when is it good to be very, very specific and in the weeds, when is it good to stop rambling, perhaps, when is rambling encouraged, like what might be those situations. So let's dive deep into how to, because we hear all the time, Laura, from people we work with, is that I don't know how to stop rambling. Once I start, I don't even know how I ended up at a place. I started here, I ended up there, I don't even know where I began. We're going to show you an example from a movie, and let's just see what stands out to you when you watch this clip.
Madam President, approximately 36 hours ago, PhD candidate Kate Dibiaski here discovered a very large comet. Oh, yeah. Good to see you. A comet between 5 to 10 kilometers across that we estimate came from the Oort cloud. Wow. Which is the outermost part of the solar system. And using Gauss's method of orbital determination and the average astrometric uncertainty of 0.04 arc seconds. We then asked,
Whoa, what the hell is what?
Or just tell us what it is. Seriously, stop.
What Dr. Mindy is trying to say is that there's a comet headed directly towards Earth.
Did you notice that, Laura?
Yes, I've been every person in this conversation in the past.
Which one do you resonate with the most right now when you see that clip?
Right now, probably Meryl Streep's character is often I'm being presented to now often, and I find myself wanting to be like, what's the so what? Like, what's the headline here? What's the recommendation? What's the insight? What's the recommendation? I'm hearing a lot of data. What's the insight? What's the recommendation?
Yeah, get to the point. Get to the point. Hello, we don't have all day. And this is what happens where our scientist friend, Leonardo DiCaprio, in this is giving every single detail, but they're like, what do you even want to say? These are definitions of clarity for different people. The president in the video just wants to know that there's a comet headed towards Earth. Okay, that's what I need to know. The scientist using Gauss's method of orbital determination. Different languages for different audiences. Now, This happens in the workplace as well. A product manager simply says that, hey, our data needs to be secure in case our New York server loses power. Simple, to the point. The engineer would go, I'm building a JSON wrapper in OCaml to perform a migration. You're actually doing the same thing, but you're saying it in very different ways. And what the engineer is saying over here is usually so confusing to someone that's not on the same team. Both statements are true, but one is easier to understand. And at Ultra Speaking, we call this the clarity scale, the scale between simplicity and accuracy. So the people that are scientists and that they love their craft, they hate simplicity because they're just they're almost derailing every beautiful thing that they've thought of. You mean all this stuff, every single detailed thought I put into this, you're making me simplify it into one sentence? No, I'm not going to do that. And then in accuracy, we have the listeners, which is so detailed, and the listeners like, can you just get to the point? I have no idea what you're saying. You lost me. You lost me 1 hour ago. The ideal format that we recommend in the workplace and when speaking to people that might not be in your specific audience, might not be as detailed, would be to start with simplicity when speaking, because not everyone is in the accuracy thing. But what most people do, and they do it for the right reasons, they start in accuracy because they feel that they're doing the listener a disservice by not giving all the data. It's almost like, no, but I haven't said this. You need to know this before I keep going. But all we really want is for you to get to the point as a listener.
And sort of wait for the audience to tell you where they need additional proof or detail to be convinced. Like, you can start with the headlines and then someone can say like, well, how do you know that the comet's heading for Earth? What methodology did you use? And then Gauss's theory of orbital, whatever, like then that's a really good time to bust that out. But if you're not being asked that question, you're leading someone through your marshes, basically.
Well said. Because when you start here, then you finally get buy-in to understand what the accuracy is. When you start with accuracy, you've lost the person and they don't even care for the simplicity anymore. They're begging for the simplicity at that point, and I've lost you hours ago. Like, please tell me what I need to know, please. Because our brain defaults to the details. It's only human. We just default to the details. We are so close to this thing that we want to mention everything. But we need to get out of the weeds. And for that, Laura, you've done this before with us, but we're going to take you through it again. It's called clarity prompts.
These are the hardest, I think.
And you're going to do a great job at it. Because clarity prompts are just instructions for your brain to make things easier to understand for the listener. So we have to let go of what we want to share as a speaker, but get to the point in real time. And how do we do that without also letting go of what the message is for the listener? Examples of clarity prompts are at the highest level to make this clear. Simply put, an easy way to understand it. We're just giving you examples right now, but Laura is actually going to put this into practice. So let's look in the chat now, Laura, because you're about to give it a go in putting this into the test. I'm going to go through the chat and find something. Did anything stand out to you, Laura, if you had an eye on the chat?
I have not been monitoring the chat because I'm just trying to stay laser focused on you, Aman.
Sounds good.
I would be a terrible Twitch streamer, trying to keep the chat engaged.
So we have something about dandelions that I see. Oh, okay, this is a good one. What are the pros and cons of, or let's just talk about the pros of using generative AI. It's a very timely topic. Everyone's talking about it. Does that interest you as a topic?
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of content there.
A lot of content. So this is the exact topic that would actually get you into the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
And let's put it to the test. So in your first round, I'm just going to put you into a timer for 1 minute, and you're going to give us a 1-minute speech on the pros of generative AI. You ready to give it a go?
Let's do it.
Amazing. Again, everyone, love in the chat for Laura. You still have no idea that this person is going in front of all of you on a live stream. Takes a lot of courage to do that. So let's show some love. All right, Laura, time starts in 3, 2, 1.
I think that it takes some courage to talk about the pros of generative AI, especially with a group of creative people. It's a really divisive topic right now. But I think that generative AI has this incredible ability to enhance human creativity, which this is controversial. But I think that human creativity so often hits these friction points that are the friction of tool work, the friction of how can I get started here? How do I get over this hump of I have this idea in my head. How do I get over this hump of bringing it to life? And I think Gen AI can really help you get over that hump. But at the same time, there are types of friction that I think it's really important to keep in the creative process. And so when you think about Gen AI tools that work, it's about eliminating tool friction while retaining good creative friction that helps us get to better ideas.
Nice. All right. Everyone, let's give it up. Nice job. How was that for you?
I had so much that I wanted to say that it was hard to think about how to structure it.
Yeah, it's almost like, oh, I have 1 minute, but I have probably 1 hour of things to say. And I don't know what's most important because my mind is not a quick filtration system that's just going to tell you in real time.
Exactly.
And this is exactly where prompts come in. Where what if you introduce prompts while you're speaking to help you get to the point of what you want to say? The prompt is your filtration system. The prompt is the filing system while you're speaking. So you're going to do the exact same topic again, but what's going to happen is that if you remember this exercise, the timer will start ticking and you're going to get prompts that appear on the screen. And all you have to do is incorporate those prompts in your speech.
All right.
And you were already confident in the previous round. And folks, notice how Laura was confident in the previous round. And it already seems like this is an acceptable answer. But now keep an eye out for what the prompts do to the exact same answer that was already pretty good. All right. You ready for round 2?
Let's try it.
Amazing. All right. Time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Generative AI is a controversial topic. I think that there are many people who feel that it degrades human creativity, but I want to make an argument that it enhances human creativity. I believe that every human on the planet has the ability to be creative. The fundamental idea is that there are friction points that keep so many of us from ever being able to bring our ideas to life. And a lot of that friction is tool friction. Basically the point is that generative AI can remove all of this useless friction, the friction of whether you know what a layer is in a design tool. It can remove tool friction, and tool friction is a great thing to remove. In other words, there's the idea, and that is yours, and only that can only come from you. And then there is the work of bringing that idea to life, and there are a million bridges. What I'm really saying is generative AI can help you bring your ideas to life, though the ideas must always be yours to start with.
Yes. All right. What changed for you there, Laura? What was the second round like?
I think like there's something about seeing about the prompts forcing you to continually sift through whatever thought you're kind of working through and get to the point, right? It's like, what is the simple sentence what is the simplest version of the sentence that I could say right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So notice how in the third prompt, you said this thing and you were like, but your idea is only yours. And then you were about to go off track.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly you used the prompt and you got back on track so quickly. I kind of view this like Mario Kart, if you played Mario Kart, where you're driving and you go off track and the cloud gets you back on track.
It's the cloud. It's the cloud. Yes, that's right.
It's only human to process your thought in real time. Messiness in speaking is a feature, not a bug. And that messiness is bound to happen because you have so much to say. But the prompt is the choice, that is the thing that influences your choice exactly as you need it, because you already know what to say, but it's the auto filtration system. It's the thing that saves you. And this is almost the opposite of the first round. The first round is please speak before you get paralyzed. And the second round is when you're speaking too much, get to the point. The prompts get you back to the point. They're both very real situations, but they come up in different times. And this is how you get out of the weeds, stop rambling, and get to the point in real
And so is the idea that over time, Aman, you kind of develop this instinct to tell yourself to like make the prompts materialize in your own mind regularly?
It's an excellent question. It's almost like don't remember your script, just remember a handful of prompts for yourself. Which is why in the chat, everybody watching this, put a prompt that you can start using tomorrow. Everyone put one prompt for yourselves. So remember in the earlier example, at the highest level. That's one of my favorite ones. I start everything with at the highest level. So it sets the tone for what I'm saying. Let me make this clear. Simply put, what is one that you like using, Laura?
In other words, sometimes, yeah.
Notice in the chat, we have in a nutshell. And what if you don't have a prompt? You just have to come up with one and start with one. Start using it in real time. People tend to say like and but you just replace a filler word with a prompt and the prompt will take you on track instead.
I love that challenge of when you feel this impulse to say like or a nice which is, I think a long is actually probably truthfully my prompt. And I like the idea of challenging yourself to replace that long which means don't interrupt me. I'm still kind of getting there with, let me make this simple.
And that's exactly what we look for, is to get to the point, what you want to say in real time. You just say that. So when I'm trying to conclude, I say, here's the bottom line. And here's the bottom line, everyone. That prompting helps create clarity. Stuck in the weeds, say at the highest level. Rambling, essentially, what I'm saying is, a lot of you have put in essence in the chat to make it clear. Falling off track, just say bottom line. It helps you land the plane. You can even go in a nutshell. You can say what I'm trying to say is, I kind of treat it like a genie, like, oh, I'm stuck in a lamp and like, what do I want? I want to be clear. So I'll say, let me be clear. And the words will follow with clarity. I want to be simple. Let me simplify this. To be simple. Just say that in real time and the words will follow.
That's amazing. It's like an incantation.
Well said. So that's the second part. When you're stuck in the weeds or you're rambling, is just to prompt yourself. It's the magic of prompting. And that's my second mantra for all of you today. By the way, everyone, if you want to put these games into practice for yourself, my colleague is going to put a link in the chat. You can play these games for free on our platform. So just sign up and you'll get access to the games and you can put this into practice. Have the free live classes, practice with other people. Just sign up. You can do this on your own time as well. All right. Technique 3, Laura, your favorite, which is to stop being monotone.
I like this one. It feels like karaoke to me.
One thing I have to add about monotony is this myth that people have about monotony. The quintessential definition of monotone is described like this. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Today, I want to be talking about this. It's almost like someone who sounds robotic, someone who always sounds low energy. But have you ever met someone that always speaks like this and is never stopping and they're always in the high energy and they don't stop? They are also monotone, everybody. Monotone basically means one tone. And we naturally have our energies. For me, it's high energy. I'm a high energy monotone when I'm in my comfortable range. What is it for you, Laura?
I think you can tell I'm really low energy. No, mine is also high energy, optimism, boundless energy, indefatigable, sometimes quite fast and a little bit frenetic almost.
And that's exactly what we're going to be working on today, is that we think that monotone is just low energy, but high energy people are also monotone. And it gets boring to listen to the same energy every time. And that's how we learn to become more engaging. Finding the right energy comes from experimentation. We have to enter this deep, uncomfortable zone of exploring the other side. And that takes time. But we need to explore that full range to find what feels natural to us. which is why you're going to play this game we've played before together, Laura. It's called Conductor. For those of us watching, this is going to be our final game and our final stretch for the workshop. Laura's going to get a speech title that I'm going to give her, and 5 is the baseline energy of how you all speak. Randomly, the number changes on the screen, which is basically going to be how you adapt in real time. The number goes above a 5, you go on higher energy. The number goes below a 5, you go into lower energy. And for you, Laura, it's important to stretch and see what the opposite feeling would feel like in your dynamism. Any questions about the game?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
So
the first
the first question was the pros of generative AI. And now I'm going to have you explore the cons of generative AI in this. So you'll have a short about 1 minute speech. You don't know when the number will change, but just adapt to the energy in real time. And this will be your final round for today. All right, let's do it. Time starts in 3, 2, 1.
The cons of generative AI have been spoken about a lot. One of the ones that I've heard of that terrifies me is cognitive surrender. Cognitive surrender is when you decide that you're kind of going to stop thinking and you're going to ask AI to think for you. I think that there is this other thing that's very much like cognitive surrender, and it is creative surrender. It's when you decide that being creative is hard. There are so many stuck points. There are so many moments when I feel like a failure when I'm trying to be creative. But it's those moments where sometimes a genius idea happens, and being able to push through those moments of failure and friction, that's where the magic is. And so if you're going to just give all of that away to generative AI and say, you tell me what content to make, you write the script for me, you know what's best, then we're giving away this thing that to me is the whole damn point. And it makes me sad when I think about my feed being given over to the bots. I don't know that that is a world that I want to live in.
Nice job. All right. Give it up for Laura, everybody. Wow. How did that feel for you, Laura?
Quite dramatic. We went on a little bit of a journey there. But I think it was really effective. It gave me a lot to think about in like, what does a 10 look like? It's a combination of like noise, like how can we make this not just level, like volume level, but also like expressiveness, like how big are you going? Because I think my instant thought was like just volume, but I think there's a lot more that goes into the numbers.
And that's what energy is. You're really discovering what you have available to you in real time. And the only way to get good at abolishing your monotony is by exploring. So for those of you that have a natural side, just explore the other. Keep jumping. It's almost like the energy will take your content in a direction. You don't have to think. You just have to feel your energy and it will move in the correct direction. You can see in the chat, you had me so hooked. That was beautiful. Awesome. Love the dynamics. Love seeing this. All right, everyone, to wrap up, in summary, what I'm trying to say is, here's what you need to know. I'm using a prompt right here at the end. If you want to access flow, use Autocomplete with breath. The game that we used in the beginning. Just start speaking, put the camera on, start speaking. You have softwares that can take care of the rest. You're on a webinar of one of them today. Second, clarity prompts. You want to get out the weeds, you're rambling, prompt yourself. Prompt is the magic to take you out of a situation you're stuck in. The best speakers are best at recovering. They prompt themselves often. And once you do that, you'll realize how you get clear and concise in real time. Lastly, everyone has a monotonous side of theirs, and you want to explore your range, explore the other side. Use this game Conductor that's available to you. Because all of these games are free. And by the way, everyone, if you want to sign up for Ultra Speaking, and we have a 5-week cohort and a 4-week cohort. We have multiple cohorts with people coming in from all over the world, signing up together and practicing their speaking and taking weeks of their time out to become really good at this one skill that applies to everything in life. We're just catering it to the workplace, but this really applies to everything in life for you. So if you're interested, you can look at the chat, sign up, and if you have any questions as well, you can reach out to someone on the team. My LinkedIn is Aman Chopra. You can just search it, Aman Chopra Ultra Speaking, and I'll be happy to answer any questions out there as well. With that said, thank you so much today, Laura, for being our volunteer.
Thank you, Aman, and thank you everyone for being such a supportive and wonderful audience.
Absolutely. They were amazing. We'll hand it back over to Fiona.
Thank you guys so much. That was such an amazing exercise workshop that we all did together, and I just found myself like rooting like it was like a sports show. I love all the analogies that you brought in, Aman, especially the Mario and the two-factor authentication. As we wrap up, wanted to just go over some deals we have for folks that are either in the Ultra Speaking cohort. You can join Descript and get 3 months off, or if you are already in Ultra, or if you are a creator or business planning Descript, you can get $100 off of Ultra Speaking as well. You'll receive more details with your email that you registered with, so be on the lookout for that. And then if you would like to learn more about Descript, we have a bunch of different resources for you. We have our videos and we have our Ultra Speaking feedback up here in the corner. If you wouldn't mind doing a little quick survey for us. And then we also have our weekly support that happens on Tuesdays with our support team. And we'll have another webinar next week as well. And if you're ready to get your team started with Descript, go ahead and just go into the link of this QR code and we can get you set up with an expert to kind of show you what you can do. So if there's not anything else, we'll go ahead and wrap up there. But thank you again so much, Aman and Laura. That was amazing. I'm so glad we got to do this again. And I sound like everybody was having a blast in the chat. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Really admire Laura for going through the process and absolutely smashing it.
This ended up being probably the best thing on my calendar today. So I have to say, I'm really glad someone made a joke that OpenClaw signed me up for this, and I'll say thank you, OpenClaw, and thank you, Aman, and thank you, Fiona, the true mastermind.
All right, thank you. All right, see you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.